gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Denanu and I'm the man with black privilege. And with this video here, we're going to be talking about The Punisher and Jessica Jones on Netflix. Recently, I think maybe a couple of days ago, maybe Monday, they announced that they was going to cancel these shows. And this is something that most people, including myself, kind of figured out that it was going to happen, just, we didn't know when. Marvel and Disney seem to be distancing themselves from the whole Netflix, plan that they had. I don't know if it's on Netflix's end. Maybe they didn't want the shows anymore, or maybe Marvel and Disney. For those of you who don't know, Disney got that new streaming service starting up. And I'm hoping they just move the shows over to there. They're announcing that they're doing, the characters will live on in other shows, and they keep hinting at, that kind of sort of thing. But I'm just hoping that the actors come along with those shows. I don't see why Disney wouldn't pick up those actors. I mean, it all depends on what their scheduling is, probably a couple years from now. But yeah, this is something that that I guess nobody was surprised about. Maybe if this was back in September, October, when Daredevil season 2 dropped and they announced that it was getting canceled, yeah, that's when everybody was surprised, because everybody was like, oh, hold up, Daredevil getting canceled. But yeah, I mean, everybody's seen this coming. With Disney starting up their new streaming service, it's just a great business move for them to have everything under one platform. Makes a whole lot of sense. I don't see why they would continue to do Netflix. Why make something with somebody else on a limited budget when you can probably do it yourself and probably integrate it with everything else that you're doing, like with the movies, with the other TV shows, with because I think they're announcing like Loki got a TV show, Scarlet Witch got one, so it's one of those things where it's like, why not, kind of like that old slogan the MCU used to have, it's all connected. Why not have everything, connected under their new streaming service. They also got Hulu too, so maybe they can put the R-rated stuff on Hulu if they wanted to do that, keep all the kid-friendly stuff on their streaming service directly. But I mean, it kind of sucks that we all have like multiple platforms to watch movies and TV shows on. They kind of remind me of game distribution platforms, where like on PC, for PC games, you have like Steam, Epic, Game Store, Origin, it's like everybody has their own, their own store where you can buy their products. And it seems like that's how streaming services are nowadays. You got Amazon, you got Hulu, you got DC with their, shitty Titans TV show on there. And you also got Netflix, which is like the OG of this point, the old dog, the old guard, as it were, of streaming services. But I'm just hoping that they can actually roll it out pretty soon. I mean, I don't want to have to wait another 5 to 10 years to see like a Punisher season 3, because I like season 2. I really did. Thought it was great. I probably got to go back and make a review video for it, because I watched it when it came out, but I never actually sat down and made a review video or a commentary talking about it. But I thoroughly enjoyed Punisher season 2. I'm hoping Jessica Jones, I think they got one more season of that left for Netflix. I don't know how that's going to pan out. That's one of those things where by them already canceling it before the season, drops, they may not have no faith in it. So they may have, that all depends on how far back that goes when it comes to that mentality, because if they knew they were going to cancel it when they were making the season 3, then that means they probably made season 3 and it's going to be shit. Nobody probably had their heart into it. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but we don't know at this point until it comes out. I don't know when it drops, but I want to say it's like maybe summer, maybe September, something like that. I know usually that's when the Marvel stuff kind of gets scheduled and everything, but it just sucks, man. It just sucks, honestly, because The Punisher was damn good. Like, I like it better. Well, let me hold my tongue a little bit. I like certain parts of it better than season 1. Let me say that. But I mean, I just don't know what else they can possibly do with the character. That's one thing that I'm hurting with, is I want to see him interact with like another character, you know, again, because like in Punisher season 1 and season 2, the greatest moments of those I think were when he was with Daredevil, and I think was it Daredevil season 2. And I love that dynamic in that episode of them being on that rooftop and them talking about that. So that was like that, and that prison fight scene in Daredevil season 2. I think Punisher season 1 was okay, but to me it was hit and miss. It kind of fell short about halfway in for me, and season 3 kind of kept me going throughout. You know, the only thing that I didn't really care for, I guess you could say, was the whole Jigsaw thing with the guy going crazy and stuff like that, because that's not who the character was in the comics. And I get that they probably have to change him because it wasn't a whole lot, you know, to do, you know, so they had to, you know, mix and mash his character and kind of reinvent his character to fit the story that they were going to tell. And what they told wasn't bad. It was just that I wished it was a whole lot more than what it was. And, you know, maybe that's why they're canceling it on Netflix. Maybe it just, you know, didn't pull in the numbers that Netflix wanted. I know that was the reason why they gave for Daredevil. But honestly, I don't think that's the case. I think that maybe Marvel just wanted to have their shows over there on Disney. And Netflix was like, look, this superhero craze, it's kind of ended for us. Ain't nobody watching them on our platform no more. We got to get rid of them. Get other stuff on there. Maybe that's the case too. I think it's more Netflix than Disney and Marvel, because Marvel and Disney probably won't really care unless they got somebody on their side like, look, we could do this better in-house. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that by them canceling the shows, my geek and my comic book lover side is like, oh man, that fucking sucks. But I'm hoping that they make the shows better and then have them integrate more with everything else on their platforms whenever they do it. Hopefully it's not the shows on Hulu, because they kind of suck. But I'm hoping that they are able to bring those characters into the movies now that we got the new Avengers coming up and everything like that. They have to push out and promote newer characters. It would be great if, let's say, when Iron Man and Captain America, let's say, retire, because I know that's coming eventually. If not with the next Avengers, then somewhere in between that and the next Avengers movie, they can't keep the current roster that they have. I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, they can, you know, have Black Panther lead the MCU or something like that. That's cool and all. You could do that. But Black Panther has never been an Avenger full time in the comics. So you can't just have him be the forerunner of the MCU if he's not an Avenger. Like, that's like the biggest thing. And he's like Namor and Aquaman when it comes to that, where it's like, yeah, I'll help you out every now and again, but, you know, my home is Wakanda. Like, so if something go down there, then I'm there first. You know, so they can't have him leading the Avengers. Maybe with these cancellations, if they can bring everybody else into the movies, then maybe Luke Cage, or because he was a part of the Avengers for a long time, with the new Avengers, with Spider-Man, Wolverine, stuff like that. Maybe they can have that going forward and have, let's say, like the new Avengers, where you had like Wolverine, Spider-Man, Luke Cage, maybe throw in Doctor Strange or something like that, even though he was kind of like Black Panther, where like his thing was more about mystical threats and magic. But you can easily put together a new Avengers team. You can bring back, instead of having him on there on the team, you can have like Hulk, if they're gonna wrap up his little personal storyline with the next movie, which I think they probably will, because they're not making a solo Hulk movie no time soon. So they can keep him and have like Captain Marvel, you know, be a part of the Avengers team, and have, you know, call that the new Avengers, you know, or something like that. They can easily do that. And that's what I'm hoping. At the end of the day, it could be one of those things where I'm just hoping they don't just shelve the characters for like 5 or 10 years. And then let's say like after that, we have like a different Black Luke Cage, a different actor playing Luke Cage, a different actor playing the Punisher. Because I think Jon Bernthal was a great choice. The Punisher, I would say, character-wise, is a little bit different. Oh, let me fix my camera real quick. Hold on. It's out of focus. Gotta hold my hand up to it. There we go. Now my handsome face is on the screen and everything. There we go. But it could be one of those things where I'm hoping, like I said, they don't just shelve the characters. Jon Bernthal I think was a great choice, but they could introduce him a little bit differently character-wise. They can have a whole lot of more of a character arc with him. And let's say Matt Murdock is Daredevil. Luke Cage is kind of will always be Luke Cage. You know, you can't really have an arc with him. Although with the end of his season, they ended his in a great position to where he has to become the bad guy. So I'm hoping they can do something with that, and that's where, you know, things get picked up, because I think Punisher ended off on a great note. Luke Cage ended off in a good spot. Iron Fist ended off in a really great spot, because they kind of reinventing the wheel with him, and he, you know, has some other different powers and stuff that he has. So eventually he has to get the Iron Fist back. So it's like all the shows that they're canceling, outside of Jessica Jones yet. I mean, I don't know how season 3 is going to be, but they've all ended in a better place than where they began story-wise. And if that's the case, you can easily come out with like the seasons you've been waiting for and have all of them come out with like a season 3 or a season 4 and have them be better shows and bring back the popularity. Because like, I don't think the popularity hasn't died out when it comes to the characters, but it's just, it has less of an impact now because everybody already knows who the characters are. They've already seen season 1. I think if they can roll them into the movies, I think that would be a great idea. To be honest, they can do a whole lot. If Iron Fist has to come back with the Iron Fist, get the Iron Fist back, and then like be like the martial arts kung fu guy, they have to do that with him. Punisher, they can come back and just have the Punisher do the Punisher and have him just, you know, do punishing bad guys in every city. I mean, they could just, you know, put him anywhere and have him do some punishing. That's what I'm trying to say. With Daredevil, he has to stay in New York doing his thing. I don't know what they can do. I guess they can always introduce Bullseye. I think that's what they were leading to with his newer season coming around. So that's going to be a thing. They would have to do something else besides Bullseye and Kingpin, though. I don't know what they can do with that. I'm guessing you can have, I think they had her in the last season. What was her name? Bloody Mary, I think. Something like that had to do with Bloody Murder, but she was like this crazy chick with 2 personalities. You had her in his season 2. Or, was it season 2 or season 3? I think season 3. But you can have, they had an episode or 2 with her, so they can always bring her back. They changed up her backstory a little bit for that. You can have her team up with Bullseye, but you can always make something up for Daredevil. Daredevil has a long line of comic books and stuff to pull from. You can, instead of bringing Elektra back, you can have him lead the Hand, because that was a comic book story arc that was really good with him. Jessica Jones, the one iffy person. She's like the one person where you don't have a lot to pull from. I have no idea what they can possibly do with her. But besides her hooking up with Luke Cage, you know, you can always do something with that. But story-wise, they would have to make up something. I mean, because she's the one character who doesn't have a lot of comic book backstory to pull from. And along with that, it's just, there's not a whole lot to her character either. She has to remain a hassle. She has to, you know, drink. She has to run her little detective agency. But that's about it. You know, anything outside of that, you can change and mess with story-wise. So I'm hoping that Disney and Marvel can actually figure things out and get the ball moving on something really, really good. But we all gotta wait and see on that one. But anyways, fellas, that's just my opinions and thoughts about the Netflix cancellation of the Marvel shows. And if you guys have anything to say about it, let me know down in the comments below. My name is Denanu, and I'm the man with black privilege. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.